what I think is AI. What I've gathered enough information to have a decent opinion on
Yeah.
artificial intelligence, and this is what I want to say. Man, now anybody can write a sermon on AI. That Chat GPT, you just put in, give me, and that's like, I'm gonna have to question everybody from this moment on. Did you come up with that, or did Chat GPT give that to you? And that's the only thing. I mean, I see this technology as being, I mean, light, like just like landing on the moon.
Wow.
But I'm not really excited about it, to be honest with you. I'm concerned that it could create jobs, number one, but probably remove more jobs and create.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm not an economist, but just by reading what I've read. The other part is there's going to be a lack of originality. I think it's going to remove a heart from a piece of paper. I believe that it is artificial and it's going to sound beautiful. I think people are going to be writing books through ChatGPT. I don't think it's going to be as authentic as it could be. So even though I'm a little concerned about it, how do you maximize it rather than calling it evil or not good, or at the worst evil, or at the other part disingenuous? You know, how do you do that? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I would like to leverage it at the same time to be able to do what we need to do, but I want to be very, very careful in that space until I get some good counsel on that. Vance, you'd probably have good counsel for me offline as well. And I would love to know what you guys think though about AI, because you guys, this is your area. This is your podcast.
My insight from what you just said is this. I think there's a lot of wisdom in identifying, hey, I'm not an early adopter, but I'm definitely not at the end of the bell curve. I allow other industry experts to maybe forge a way and to make the mistakes, and I learn from that mistakes, and then I move forward in strength for my context. I think there's a lot of wisdom in that. You know, our take in AI, we actually talk about it probably every other episode, Hanzo, on the Give It Up podcast, because it's just, you know, it's kind of like, you know, 10 years ago, Andreessen Horowitz, one of the most famous investors, wrote this article, Software is Eating the World. It seems like we're at another inflection point where AI is eating the world, just in terms of like the water cooler talk and things like that. I do believe what you just said is true, that it's going to displace a ton of jobs. I think it's going to displace a lot of knowledge work that can just be done by AI. You just think about accountants, you think about people that do financial models, you even just think about remedial legal steps and incorporation documents, and all of that can be learned through a corpus of data and just be done in a tenth of the time and probably more accurate through AI. So a lot of knowledge work is going to be displaced. My optimistic view is this, that because we're going to be able to do a lot of the lower level tasks automatically and easily, it's going to free up humanity to solve bigger problems. Okay. Right? And so I actually think that those people that are going to be displaced, they have a choice. They either can go into areas where jobs are not being displaced. So for example, a landscaper, for example, you know, there's certain service industry jobs that can't be replaced by AI today, until we get to the Terminator stage of robots, but we're not there yet. And so there's a choice. You can either go that route, or you can actually go the entrepreneurial route. And you can leverage this baseline. So think of all the app ideas that you have in your brain, Pastor Mike, but you're limited because you don't have enough coders to be able to build the app that you want to build in your brain. AI can just code it for you now. And so I think what it's going to do is going to unleash a new stage of creativity and entrepreneurship to actually allow more and more. It's kind of like what Instagram did with democratizing photography. Now everybody's like a decent photographer, right?
Everybody's a model. Everybody's a model.
Everybody's a model. Okay, so Pastor Mike truly pastors Gen Z. And so that's what it is, right? So it's democratized that. I mean, YouTube has democratized creation. So now everybody can have some level of an audience, right? And so now if AI can code for you, everybody's going to be on some level an app developer that can solve certain problems that maybe they couldn't solve without it, because they didn't know any coders, they didn't know any engineers, they didn't know how to learn engineering themselves. What's your take, Zoe?
Yeah, I mean, Vance and I recorded an episode strictly on this, and I basically opened up the episode by saying, I'm terrified that robots are going to eat me. And by the end of the episode, he had my mind fully changed to now having an optimistic view and finding ways to integrate AI as a supplement and making sure that we have guardrails in place so that it's only as a supplement, not as the main driver, because that's where it gets dangerous. Is Vance, you obviously say it a lot better than I am, but whenever you ask it how to make it better moving forward, that's when you give it the scary level of autonomy to then become a monster that will eat you.
Yes, it's called singularity. I think we're a little bit further away from that than people think we are. There is caution to the wind on it. I'm not fully bullish on it, but this is where I think the importance of the local church is, right? The local church, I believe, should be the central point of society. We've seen it in history where when that's happened, a lot of times society continues to move forward morally, definitely. Society flourishes, right, in a lot of different aspects because the Bible's undefeated. The Bible has the best truths. The Bible has first principles. And so what I'm excited about and why we have started this podcast is we want to have these conversations so that we can break off fear and intimidation off of the church, the local church, to be able to embrace these technologies. Because God help us if the church is not embracing these and leading the way. Like I really don't want others to be doing that